Hey planner friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be planning from the 31st of May to the 6th of June in my medium passion planner, and because I had this entire week off work I'm going to be doing a plan as I go style video, so let's get started. So the kit that I'm using this week is Candy Shop from Wendy Prints, and I just loved all of the colours in this kit and it fits perfectly for moving from my pink theme for May into my yellow theme for June. I've started off this spread by shading in the parts of the timelines where I'm probably going to be asleep with a regular pencil, and then going in with my grey Stabilo fine liner, and this week because I wasn't in work I've only split the personal to-do list section. I'm then going in with my pink Stabilo highlighter and then my yellow passion marker to colour in all of the daily focus boxes as I'm not in work any of these days. I also didn't mark in any alarm times using my grey Stabilo fine liner because I didn't set an alarm at all this week. It was glorious. So as I mentioned in my intro, I'm going to be doing a plan as I go style video this week because I didn't have a lot of plans to put in at the beginning of the week as I took this week off work and planned to do absolutely nothing. In light of that, I'm only writing in my lunch and dinners because I didn't know what time I was going to be getting up any of these mornings, so I left breakfast until I was actually filling in the day at the end of it. So I've zoomed through my pen base and now we can start putting some stickers down on paper, and as always I'm starting with my weekly meal plan tracker, which is just something that I made in Excel and print off on sticker paper myself. Because this mini kit comes with a few less boxes than I'm used to, I'm having to pull a lot out of my stash, so I'm using some leftovers from monthly kits such as this squared off box that I'm putting in the weekly focus box. And then I'm using a little bit of deco from the kit to just cover up that cut line. Next I'm going to add the habit tracker from the kit and a decorative box over the quote section in my sidebar. And then we can move on to the washi strips. So the washi strips in this kit are a little bit thicker than I'm used to, but I've cut two 7.5mm strips for the personal and work to-do list headers and the Space of Infinite Possibility header, and then as usual a 5mm strip to create my extra gratitude header in the bottom left hand corner. The weekend banner that comes in this kit is a little bit smaller than I would like, so I'm just grabbing this page of weekend banners from Ickle & Co, and I'm going to use the pink one from this instead. And then we can move on into the little bit of pre-planning that I have for this week. So I first marked in going to my yoga class on Monday evening, and then I'm marking in a bill that was due on Tuesday, and I'm just using a bill due sticker left over from a monthly kit to mark that in. Next I'm using a pale pink washi strip that I had left over in my stash and a YouTube button icon from Ickle & Co, as well as a planner face upload script to mark in uploading my monthly video on Tuesday. And then I'm just marking in playing Sims because a new Sims pack came out on Tuesday, and marking in my workouts for the week. Moving on to Saturday, and I'm marking my planning time in the same way that I usually do, using a sideways flag and a doodle from Plannerface, and then I'm using one of the third boxes from the kit and a piece of deco as well as an edit script from Plannerface to mark in editing and recording this voiceover. I did a lot of editing yesterday, not so much any of the voicing over things. I then decided that I didn't like the way that the flag and that third box fitted in the space together, so I swapped out the flag from one of these scalloped headers from the kit and just popped the planner in the middle of the header. This was only a little bit precarious because I don't have very much undo left and these stickers are not really removable matte. I haven't used a Wendy Prints kit for a few months, and I kind of forgot that the paper that they use does not really go well with passion planner paper. I don't know why, because it feels like perfectly normal sticker paper, but when you stick it on a passion planner it's just not moving at all. To finish off this very minimal pre-planning, I'm adding in one more workout, and I also forgot to add in my last workout of the week, and then marking and uploading this YouTube video in the same way that I marked the one that went up on Tuesday. I've then cut down this full box checklist that comes with the kit into 3 hearts, and I'm using that to mark in my cleaning time on Sunday morning. This half box on Saturday evening, which I'm using with a piece of deco from the kit, is just to mark in whatever we got up to on Saturday, which ended up being some gaming and drinks at home. I do love the amount of deco and icons that come in these mini kits from Wendy Prints, but there is a serious lack of boxes for my style of planning, so as I've mentioned already, I am going to be pulling in a lot from my stash. Although I wasn't at work this week, I still wanted to pull in a lot of decorative boxes because I didn't really plan to do a lot this week. So I'm just adding in decorative boxes onto a few of the days and cutting them down on the paper so that I've measured them properly because I'm terrible at measuring things. It's a pretty safe bet that if I put a decorative box down on a day, then I was playing The Sims or sat out in the garden. One of those two things. So that was my pretty minimal pre-planning for this week off work. Now we can get into memory planning, what I actually did every day. So starting with Monday, and I'm going to be starting pretty much all of these days the same by marking in the time that I woke up and adding in my breakfast in the morning. The first thing I'm marking in with this third box and a bit of deco from the kit is finishing off my June monthly and doing the voiceover for that video. Next, using a half box, I'm marking in that we spent a lot of time in the garden on Monday afternoon because the bank holiday weather was so gorgeous. We jet washed our patio, which was the most satisfying thing in the world, and I also cleared a few more of our flower beds of all of the plants that didn't really survive the horrible spring weather that we had. And I'm marking that with a gardening doodle from Plannerface. I do PR for Plannerface, so you can use my code in the description to save yourselves a little bit of money. The last thing that I'm adding in on Monday is playing Sims with one of these Play Sims stickers, and you're going to see a lot of these this week, and I'm not sorry for it at all. Moving on to Tuesday, and the first thing that I'm going to do is grab my undo to move that interval run because I did not get to that in the morning. I had a few extra bits and pieces to do. While that dries, I'm going to move on to the afternoon, and I'm first adding in this leftover box from my monthly kit to mark in that we went to the pub in the glorious sunshine of the nicest weather that we've had so far this year. There's something about drinking Aperol Spritz and sitting in the sunshine that just made me feel like I was on actual holiday, even though I was like a 15-minute walk from my house. Next, I'm just moving that interval run into the afternoon because that's when I did it, and adding in a header to fill in a little bit of space when I wasn't really doing a lot. Moving back to the morning, and I'm going to add in an event label to mark in sorting out some paperwork for our new car, and then also just having a lazy morning because I deserve a lazy morning sometimes. I'm marking in my lazy morning with a little bit of deco from the kit, and although I did do some other errands this morning, I decided not to bother putting them in my planner because the afternoon already looked kind of crammed and I didn't want to make it look even more squished. To fill in that little bit of space in the evening, I'm just adding in some deco from the kit rather than putting in an extra box or something because I basically played Sims all evening. Moving on to Wednesday, and the first thing I've done is shade in a little bit more of the timeline because I slept in a little bit more this day, and then I'm just adding in my breakfast. The first thing I did on Wednesday was my monthly reflection for May, so I'm adding in a small box from the kit and a Plannerface doodle to mark that in. I also struggled to line up this little chunk because it's so teeny tiny and right at the spine of my planner it's already getting bulky, so can't wait to try and fit in the rest of the year. I'm also adding in the laundry icon that came in the kit because I did some laundry on Wednesday morning, and then we can move on to the evening. So I'm using this flag sideways and adding a little bit of deco over it to mark having some drinks at home, and then, you guessed it, played some Sims in the evening again. Thursday was another pretty lazy morning, so I'm adding in a bit of decorative box to fill in some space, and that's actually the bottom half of the decorative box that I cut up and put on Monday morning. I'm then obviously going to rearrange it slightly so that I can fit this small box and another doodle from Plannerface to mark in another lazy morning. I highlighted over my breakfast before I added in the doodle so I didn't accidentally end up colouring over the doodle because it was a little bit squished in that space. I don't know how I made doing absolutely nothing for a week look like I was so busy in my planner because a lot of this is very squished, but I was not doing much at all. Thursday afternoon, you guessed it, I played some more Sims, but I also used this event label to mark in that I did a little bit more gardening. So we have a vine on the back of our house that, because there was some sun and a little bit of rain this week, just decided to explode and was taking up most of our patio again, so I had to trim that back a lot. And then I'm using a half box to mark in that we just watched some Twitch streams and had some more drinks this evening. The watering can doodle is another one from the gardening sheet from Plannerface, and then I just used a little bit of deco from the kit for that half box in the evening. Moving on to Friday, and I'm first using a third box from the kit, which I had to cut down on both sides rather than a chunk out of the middle because of the pattern on it, and I'm using that to mark in that I filmed a big chunk of this Plan As I Go video on Friday morning. I think I'll eventually remember to add a film script from Plannerface on top of that as well. Moving on to Friday evening, and I'm using this quarter box from my stash and a bit of deco from the kit to mark in going to the pub with some friends. I'm then using a leftover event label from my stash to mark in having a few more drinks at home with one of my friends that I'd been at the pub with. I initially filmed this bit on Friday morning because I assumed that I would just come home and have a lazy evening once I was done at the pub, so I used this bed icon from the kit to mark that in, but it doesn't really fit with what actually happened now and I've just left it there. For Saturday, I'm first using this skinny box from the kit to mark in doing my meal plan, and that's with a doodle from Plannerface. And then, yes, again, I am marking in that I played some Sims, and then also filling in some of the space while I was still playing Sims with a piece of washi left over from the kit. I really love the candy hearts pattern of this washi, it's so cute, and I'm pretty proud of myself that I haven't been too tempted to eat loads of donuts and sweets this week, despite the fact that this is what my planner looks like. So finally moving on to Sunday, and the first thing that I'm marking using one of these icons from the kit is that today I'm going to set up the CarPlay for my new car because I have to drive to work tomorrow and I would like my car to be connected to my phone. I'm then using a box from my leftover stash to mark in finishing up this video, and also a skinny box from the kit to mark in prepping for going back to work tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to at all. I've had such a nice week off and they always go way too fast. I also added in a workout sticker that I had forgotten to add in when I did my pre-planning earlier this week. Finally, for this evening, I'm marking in using the last half box from the kit and a piece of deco that I am just going to have a lazy evening and prepare for the fact that I have to get up on time tomorrow and drive to work. So before I show you the final spread, I'm just going to add in my photos into the bottom left hand corner, and because I didn't have any work to do this week, I've added in some extra photos into that section to fill in the space. I've also added an extra decorative box, and now we can take a look at the finished spread. So here is the spread all filled out, and I'm still a little bit confused how I made doing nothing all week look like so much stuff happened. But I really love the colours of this kit and I'm really excited to get stuck into my yellow theme for June. I also definitely seem to take the right week off this year to really enjoy some summer weather now that it's finally arrived. So that's everything for this video, friends. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!